What I first noticed was this absolute rush of waiters and people running down this center aisle towards the stage where President Trump was sitting. My Reuters colleagues and I, we were sitting actually very close to that stage, and so you would just hear the ruffle of silverware and glasses start shattering, and it almost seemed like a stampede was running towards the president's table. That is when I turned, and I was probably only about 30 yards away from where President Trump was sitting, and you saw the U.S. Secret Service agents getting on top of the president. He almost looked to be on his knees behind the table, and then they slowly started ushering him out as the federal agents with long tactical guns started to surround the president, ushering him off stage.
Well, thank you very much. That was very unexpected, but incredibly acted upon by Secret Service and law enforcement. And
President Trump, did the suspect say anything, or was he wearing anything that would allege some type of motive here?
no, I mean, he was a guy who looked pretty evil when he was down. You know,
We then had this very surreal scene where we were told that President Trump was going to be giving a press briefing down the road about a mile away at the White House. And so a lot of the reporters in Washington, D.C., and there are a lot of them, were at this dinner, and a lot of them who cover the White House. And so me and others started hopping on bikes, and other people were running all the way to the White House because the roads were completely shut down because the president and these top-level officials were trying to leave this area when we were told that the dinner was no longer going to continue. So there were a lot of sweaty reporters running to the White House, waiting to hear from President Trump. And I was in the front row of that press briefing, and it was also another surreal moment with the president standing with the top levels of the U.S. government, the defense secretary, the secretary of state, the FBI director.
We have heard loud bangs, but frankly, we were sitting very close to the stage, so it was difficult to make anything of them. For us, the biggest sign was we saw Secret Service agents rush through the doors and towards the stage and towards the president. That was when everybody, and at the same time, everybody started ducking under the tables, take cover. That was when it was clear that something very odd, something very different was happening. I have been to many White House Correspondents' dinners. Obviously, we have never, ever seen anything like this before. Secret Service was very quick. President Trump was evacuated President Trump was whisked away from the stage within just a few seconds. We've also seen Vice President J.D. Vance being evacuated by his own team as well. It was an incredible moment of confusion and shock. People remained under the tables, by the side of the tables, just trying to take cover while they tried to figure out what was exactly going on. It was the most eventful White House Correspondents' dinner I have ever been. I'm sure that's the case for everybody else.